Chosen one. This moment did not find you by accident. You were led here with precision at a time when silence has been doing more work in you than noise ever could. What looks like obscurity has been alignment. What felt like delay has been careful formation. God has not withdrawn his favor. He has been refining your capacity to carry what comes next. Doors are opening quietly, provision is arranging itself without announcement, and your inner foundation is being strengthened to sustain what is ahead. Stay with this message. What's forming now will soon make sense. Chosen one. There is a reason your life has felt quieter than it used to, and it is not because momentum stopped. It is because weight was being added where no one could see it. You have not been stalled, you have been insulated. This season of obscurity has been shaping your discernment, your restraint, and your capacity to carry what is next without losing yourself in it. When others chased visibility, you were learning how to stand without applause. When doors closed without explanation, something deeper was being formed in you that noise would have interrupted. Anointed one. You move differently now, and that difference did not come from confusion. It came from alignment. You stopped reacting the way you used to. You stopped explaining yourself to people who were never assigned to understand you. I remember a season in my own life when silence felt like punishment, when nothing was outwardly changing, yet everything inside me was being restructured. Looking back, I see that the stillness was not empty. It was instructional. It trained me to hear what urgency drowns out. Chosen one. What you endured without recognition refined your spirit more than celebration ever could. There were moments you could have defended yourself, moments you could have forced clarity, moments you could have demanded your place. But something in you chose restraint. That restraint was not weakness. It was wisdom being installed. The world often mistakes loud movement for progress, but heaven often works through quiet consistency. What felt like delay was actually protection from being exposed before you were ready to sustain the next level. Anointed one. There is a financial and spiritual transfer connected to this season, and it is not random. You are being trusted with increase because you learned how to steward lack without resentment. You learned how to stay generous when resources were tight. You learned how to stay faithful when nothing seemed to be multiplying yet. I have seen people receive sudden provision before their inner structure was ready, and it broke them. What is coming to you is arriving after formation, not before it, so it will build rather than burden you. Chosen one. Obscurity teaches you what applause never can. It teaches you who you are when no one is affirming you. It reveals whether you are led by assignment or attention. In hidden seasons, motives surface. You confronted parts of yourself that success would have masked. You healed patterns that would have sabotaged promotion. That inner work is the reason doors will open without strain. Supply will come without panic. You are not stepping into abundance to prove anything. You are stepping into it because you can now carry it cleanly. Anointed one. There is a difference between being removed and being rejected, and you have lived that difference. Some spaces could no longer hold what you were becoming. Some connections expired, not because they were evil, but because they were seasonal. That loss hurt, and it mattered, and it changed you. But it also clarified you. It taught you to trust timing over attachment. When provision and opportunity begin to realign, you will recognize that nothing was wasted, not even the loneliness. Chosen one. Heaven does not promote noise. It promotes readiness. You have been prepared in ways that will soon make sense when responsibility increases. Influence will expand, but your center will remain steady. Resources will move, but you will not lose your peace chasing them. There is a kind of promotion that elevates you outwardly while shrinking you inwardly. That is not what is coming. What is coming is integrated, aligned, and anchored in who you have already become. Anointed One, as this message continues, I want you to stay present, not just hopeful. There is more clarity ahead about what you are stepping into and how to walk it without fear. This is not the end of the quiet. It is the transition out of it. What was formed in the dark is about to be trusted with light, and how you move next will matter. Stay with me, because the next part will help you recognize what to carry forward and what to finally leave behind. Chosen One. As this season shifts, you may notice that what once felt heavy is no longer pressing on you the same way. That is not because circumstances suddenly became easier, but because your internal strength quietly expanded. Obscurity stretched you. It taught you how to remain steady when outcomes were unclear and reassurance was scarce. That kind of endurance cannot be learned in visible success. It is learned in the waiting, when faith must operate without feedback and obedience must stand on its own legs. Anointed One. Heaven does not rush what carries responsibility. What is being prepared for you involves more than provision. It involves influence, stewardship, and discernment. I have learned that sudden breakthroughs test character more intensely than long struggles. When things begin to move quickly, unresolved fear, hidden insecurity, and old survival patterns try to resurface. Your quiet season confronted those things before momentum arrived. That is why the next opening will not overwhelm you. You were shaped slowly so you could move forward steadily. Chosen One. You may have wondered why certain prayers seemed unanswered while others around you advanced. The truth is, timing protected you. There were moments you wanted acceleration, but acceleration without grounding would have fractured your peace. God was forming your inner posture so that when doors open, you will walk through them without losing humility or clarity. Increase is safest when identity is already settled. You are not stepping into blessing to discover who you are. You're stepping into it knowing who you are. Anointed One. There is a transfer that happens when trust replaces striving. You stopped forcing outcomes. You stopped negotiating your values for progress. That decision changed everything, even if it did not look like it at the time. I remember choosing integrity over opportunity once, and it felt like loss in the moment. Months later, a door opened that required the very restraint I had practiced in obscurity. What felt like delay was training. That pattern is active in your life now. Chosen One. The silence taught you to listen. It tuned your perception so you could sense alignment instead of chasing noise. This is why future connections will feel cleaner. Conversations will carry less confusion. Opportunities will require less explanation. You will recognize what fits because your spirit has been calibrated. This clarity is part of the reward of hidden seasons. It is also protection against distractions that look good but pull you off assignment. Anointed One. The provision coming toward you is not meant to replace discipline. It is meant to partner with it. You learned how to manage limited resources wisely. You learned how to give without being seen. You learned how to remain grateful without guarantees. These lessons anchor abundance so it does not drift into excess or fear. Financial flow responds to inner order. When your priorities align, supply follows without strain. Chosen One. Obscurity also revealed who was safe to walk with and who was only comfortable when you were smaller. That awareness will guide your next steps. Not everyone who wants access is meant to have influence. You are not becoming distant. You are becoming discerning. This is not isolation, it is refinement. Healthy boundaries preserve calling. They do not limit love, they focus it. Anointed One, as momentum builds, resist the urge to explain your process to those who did not walk with you through the quiet. You do not owe clarity to everyone. Your life will speak on its own terms. There is peace in letting outcomes testify instead of words. What was formed in silence carries authority without performance. Chosen One. The next phase will require courage, but not the kind that pushes. It will require the courage to receive without guilt, to lead without control, and to trust without proof. This is where surrender deepens, not diminishes. Stay with this unfolding. In the next part, we will explore how to move forward without dragging old patterns into new territory, so what arrives can remain clean, aligned, and lasting. This is not the moment to rush retreat or doubt, but to remain anchored, attentive, and open as direction becomes clear with each obedient step. Chosen One. There is a subtle shift that happens when preparation turns into readiness, and you are standing inside that shift now. What once felt like endurance is becoming discernment. You are no longer surviving lessons, you are integrating them. Obscurity did not just humble you, it clarified you. It stripped away the need to rush, to prove, to convince. That stripping was not loss, it was alignment. It trained you to move with intention instead of impulse, which is why what comes next will not pull you off center. Anointed One. Many people misunderstand promotion because they associate it with visibility alone, but true elevation begins internally. It starts when your nervous system no longer panics at uncertainty, when your faith no longer depends on immediate results. I remember a time when opportunity finally appeared after a long, quiet stretch, and I realized the greatest change was not external. I was calmer. I listened more. I was no longer trying to control the outcome. That internal stability made the opportunity sustainable. You are arriving at that same internal posture now. Chosen One. The reason heaven trusted you with silence is because silence reveals whether obedience is conditional. When nothing was changing outwardly, you still chose integrity. You still showed up. You still honored your values when no one was rewarding you for it. That consistency forged authority that cannot be manufactured. Authority like that attracts provision naturally. Doors recognize it. People feel it. Opportunities respond to it without pressure. Anointed One, you may sense that certain cycles are closing without ceremony. Conversations fade, invitations slow, familiar patterns dissolve. This is not something you need to fix. It is something you need to honor. Closure does not always announce itself. Sometimes it simply stops pulling on you. That release creates space, and space is necessary for expansion. What is ahead requires room to land without resistance from old attachments. Chosen One. There is also a refinement happening in how you relate to success itself. You are learning not to idolize outcomes. You are learning to let results serve purpose instead of define worth. This is essential because the next season carries influence, not just benefit. Influence requires restraint. It requires the ability to pause, to listen, to choose long-term impact over short-term relief. Obscurity trained that muscle in you quietly. Anointed One. You are stepping into a phase where provision will respond to alignment more than effort. This does not mean effort disappears. It means effort becomes focused. You will notice that the right actions carry more weight while unnecessary striving loses appeal. This clarity protects you from burnout. It also preserves joy. When work aligns with assignment, energy multiplies instead of drains. Chosen one, do not be surprised if people begin to see you differently without you changing your behavior. That shift happens when internal authority stabilizes. You no longer chase validation, so presence becomes steadier. Your words land differently. Your silence communicates boundaries without explanation. This is not distance, it is groundedness, and groundedness creates trust. Anointed one, remember that not everything you carry is meant to be shared immediately. Some things mature through privacy. You learned this in obscurity, and it will continue to serve you. Discernment will guide when to speak and when to remain quiet. That timing protects both you and what you are building. Chosen one. As this part comes to a close, stay attentive to what feels lighter and what feels complete. Those sensations are signals, not coincidences. You are not losing anything essential. You are shedding what cannot travel forward. In the next part, we will move deeper into how to receive what is arriving without reverting to old survival patterns. So this next season remains grounded, purposeful, and free. Remain present. What unfolds next builds directly on what you have already lived through. This is a moment for steadiness, not speculation. Trust the pace that has carried you this far. Stay rooted in daily practice, simple discipline, and honest reflection. These quiet anchors will keep you aligned as movement increases. Nothing ahead requires you to abandon who you became here. It requires you to bring it forward intact, fully. Chosen one. As movement begins to increase around you, one of the greatest disciplines you will be asked to practice is restraint. Not hesitation, not fear, but restraint born from wisdom. Obscurity trained you to pause before reacting, to observe before responding, to listen beneath the surface of situations. That training matters now because not every open door is your door, and not every opportunity is aligned with your assignment. Discernment will protect what acceleration could easily compromise if you moved too quickly. Anointed one, there is a subtle temptation that comes with transition, the urge to overcorrect for lost time. After long seasons of waiting, the impulse to say yes to everything can feel justified. But alignment is not restored by excess movement. It is maintained by precision. I have learned this through experience. When momentum finally returned after a long, quiet stretch, I said yes too quickly, thinking faith required speed. What I later realized was that faith also requires boundaries. You are being invited into increase, not into overload. Chosen one. This next phase will test whether you trust the process enough to protect your peace. Some invitations will come cloaked in urgency. Some offers will appeal to old versions of you that once needed validation, but you are not operating from that place anymore. Obscurity healed that hunger. You no longer need constant affirmation to feel secure. That internal security is what allows you to choose quality over quantity without guilt. Anointed one, heaven's promotion is never chaotic. When alignment is present, movement carries calm, even when responsibility grows. You will notice that what is meant for you feels clear, not confusing. It may stretch you, but it will not fracture you. It will require growth, but it will not demand compromise. Pay attention to how your body responds, not just your thoughts. Peace is a signal. Anxiety that repeats is often a warning, not a challenge to push through. Chosen one. This is also a season where stewardship becomes visible. You're not only receiving, you're being entrusted. Time, energy, relationships, and resources will require intentional management. What you learned when you had less will now guide how you handle more. This is where maturity reveals itself. You're not trying to impress. You're trying to remain aligned. That shift changes how you make decisions. It keeps your life sustainable. Anointed One, do not underestimate the power of consistency in this phase. Daily practices that seemed small in obscurity will become anchors in visibility. Stillness, reflection, integrity, and rest are not optional when momentum increases. They are essential. I have seen gifted people rise quickly and collapse just as fast because they abandoned the habits that grounded them. You are being invited to carry growth without losing yourself. That requires honoring the rhythms that kept you steady when no one was watching. Chosen One. There will also be moments when others project expectations onto you that do not belong to you. Some will assume access because they remember your availability in earlier seasons. Some will resist your boundaries because they benefited from your lack of them. This is not your burden to carry. Growth often reveals mismatches that were invisible before. Releasing those dynamics is not rejection, it is honesty. It creates space for healthier alignment on both sides. Anointed. One, remember that silence is still a tool even when you are more visible. You do not need to narrate every step. Explanation is not always clarity. Sometimes it invites unnecessary interference. Obscurity taught you how to move without broadcasting. That skill will serve you now. Let your actions speak. Let outcomes tell the story. There is authority in quiet confidence. Chosen One. The strength you carry now was forged under pressure, not applause. That is why it will not waver when circumstances change. You are not afraid of losing what you have gained because you know who you are without it. That freedom keeps your heart clean. It keeps your motives aligned. It allows you to lead, create, and contribute without attachment to outcomes. Anointed One. As this part closes, take inventory of what you are willing to protect as movement increases. Your peace, your values, your relationships, your inner clarity. These are not obstacles to success. They are the foundation of it. The next part will guide you through how to receive what is coming without letting it redefine you, so you remain rooted, responsive, and whole. This season is not asking you to become someone new. It is asking you to trust who you have already become and to move forward without abandoning the wisdom that was shaped in the quiet. Chosen One. There is a moment when increase begins to test what formation built, and you're entering that moment now. What arrives next will not only add to your life, it will reveal how deeply you trust what shaped you in the quiet. Abundance, opportunity, and visibility all expose foundations. They do not create character, they uncover it. This is why your season of obscurity mattered so much. It gave you a core that will not bend under expansion. Anointed One. One of the most important lessons you learned was how to receive without clinging. When you had little, you learned gratitude. When things were uncertain, you learned faith. Now, as provision begins to flow more freely, you are being asked to practice the same posture. Not possessive, not fearful, not driven by scarcity. What comes to you is meant to move through you, not control you. That mindset keeps blessing from becoming bondage. Chosen One financial transfer is not just about money changing hands. It is about trust shifting realms. Heaven entrusts resources to those who have learned restraint, generosity, and discernment. You have made quiet decisions that no one applauded. You chose integrity when shortcuts were available. You chose patience when compromise would have accelerated results. Those choices registered. They created alignment. Alignment opens channels. Effort alone never can. I want you to understand something clearly. Provision responds to purpose, not pressure. When you chased survival, things stayed tight. When you aligned with calling, flow began to change. I have lived this. The moment I stopped forcing outcomes and focused on faithfulness, unexpected doors opened. Support appeared from places I did not anticipate. What changed was not my worth, but my posture. The same shift is active in your life now. Chosen. One, as resources increase, you may feel an unfamiliar vulnerability. Receiving can feel riskier than striving because it requires trust. Striving keeps control. Receiving requires surrender. But surrender is where multiplication happens. This is not about passivity. It is about alignment. You still act, plan, and steward. You simply do so without anxiety. Anxiety constricts flow. Trust expands it. Anointed one, guard yourself against comparison in this phase. You will see others receiving differently, moving faster, appearing louder. That does not mean you are behind. Your path has always been precise. What is assigned to you requires a specific pace and structure. Comparing timelines distorts perception. Stay anchored in what you know to be true. Your provision will arrive in ways that match your calling, not someone else's story. Chosen one. You may also notice that old fears attempt to resurface as things improve. Thoughts like, what if this doesn't last? Or, what if I lose it? These are echoes of past instability, not prophecies of the future. Obscurity healed much of this, but remnants can surface during transition. When they do, respond with remembrance, not resistance. Remember how you were sustained before. That same source remains active now. Anointed one, stewardship in this season looks like clarity, not control. It looks like intentional generosity, not reckless giving. It looks like honoring rest, even when momentum increases. Burnout is not a badge of faith. Sustainable growth honors limits. You are not here to prove endurance. You are here to demonstrate alignment. That distinction matters. Chosen one. As this part concludes, I want you to recognize that what you are stepping into is not fragile. It is supported by everything you have already survived. You are not starting over. You are building forward. The next part will help you recognize how to stay grounded as influence grows, so expansion does not erode intimacy, humility, or peace. Stay present. What comes next is not about gaining more, but about carrying well what has already begun to arrive. Anointed one, allow yourself to trust the continuity of this journey. Nothing is arriving without context. Nothing is appearing without preparation. Even what surprises you has roots in past obedience. When doubts surface, return to simple practices that steadied you before. Breathe, reflect, move slowly enough to hear direction. You are not required to have everything figured out. You are required to stay aligned. Alignment keeps provision clean. It keeps relationships healthy. It keeps motives clear. As movement continues, choose presence over projection. Choose depth over display. Let your life remain integrated, not divided between who you are becoming and who you have been. The same faith that sustained you in obscurity will stabilize you in expansion. Nothing essential is missing. Nothing important has been overlooked. What is unfolding now is supported, intentional, and designed to endure beyond emotion or season. Stay anchored in truth, practice humility daily, and remember that steady obedience always outlasts sudden momentum when seasons shift and responsibilities quietly increase with grace. Chosen one, as the season continues to unfold, you may sense a deeper call toward simplicity, not reduction, but refinement. Expansion does not always ask for more effort. Sometimes it asks for clearer focus. You are learning how to carry responsibility without carrying excess. This lesson matters because what is being entrusted to you requires steadiness, not urgency. Heaven moves with intention, and those who walk with it learn to match that pace without fear of being left behind. Anointed one. There is a difference between momentum driven by anxiety and movement guided by alignment. Obscurity trained you to recognize that difference. When nothing was visible, you learned to listen inwardly. Now, as things begin to accelerate, that listening becomes even more essential. Direction will come quietly. It may not announce itself dramatically, but it will feel consistent. Trust that subtle guidance. It will keep you from exhausting yourself trying to sustain what was never meant to be forced. Chosen. 1. One of the signs of maturity is the ability to hold complexity without losing clarity. You are entering conversations, responsibilities, and environments that require discernment rather than reaction. You no longer need to respond immediately to everything. Pausing does not mean avoidance, it means wisdom. I learned this after making decisions too quickly in a season of opportunity, only to realize later that speed had cost me peace. You are being spared that lesson by having learned patience first. Anointed one. The transfer occurring in your life is not limited to finances or opportunities. It is also a transfer of authority, the quiet confidence that comes from having survived uncertainty. That authority allows you to stand firm without becoming rigid, to lead without controlling, to receive without grasping. These qualities cannot be rushed. They are formed through lived experience, and you have lived it. Chosen one, be attentive to how your relationships adjust in this phase. Some people will celebrate your growth, others may struggle with it. Neither response needs to dictate your direction. Gratitude and boundaries can coexist. You are not required to shrink to preserve comfort. You are not required to harden to protect progress. Balance is possible when identity is settled. Anointed one, as influence grows, humility becomes even more valuable. Not performative humility, but grounded awareness. You know where you came from. You remember the nights of doubt, the unanswered questions, the quiet endurance. That memory keeps your heart accessible. It keeps compassion alive. It prevents success from isolating you from the humanity that shaped you. Chosen one. There will be moments when you are tempted to measure yourself by outcomes again. When that happens, return to what sustained you before. Presence, integrity, daily alignment. These anchors do not lose relevance when seasons change. They become more important. Growth without grounding leads to instability. You are being taught how to expand while remaining whole. Anointed. One, notice how rest is becoming a form of obedience for you. You are learning that exhaustion does not equal faithfulness. Pacing yourself honors what you are building. I once believed that rest was a reward for finishing everything. Experience taught me that rest is part of how things are finished well. You are integrating that truth now. Chosen one. As this part draws to a close, recognize that you are not navigating this season blindly. You are moving with awareness, shaped by every step that came before. Nothing about your journey has been wasted. In the next part, we will explore how to remain open and teachable as stability increases, so growth continues without resistance. Stay attentive, stay grounded. What is being established now is meant to last, not just arrive. The steadiness you are cultivating will become the strength others recognize when they encounter your presence, and that recognition will open doors that no striving ever could. Chosen one, let this awareness settle gently rather than urgently. You are not behind and you are not late. You are exactly where your capacity can meet responsibility without collapse. Allow curiosity to replace pressure as you move forward. Ask better questions instead of demanding faster answers. Stay responsive, not rigid. Let learning remain active even as confidence stabilizes. This posture will keep your spirit flexible and your mind clear. You are not meant to arrive and stop growing. You are meant to arrive and continue integrating. What is ahead will require adaptability, honesty, and patience, but you already carry those qualities. They were forged long before this moment. Remain faithful to small practices because they sustain large assignments. Remain present in ordinary days because they anchor extraordinary seasons. Nothing about this unfolding is accidental, and nothing requires you to abandon the wisdom that carried you here. Trust the process that trusts you. Breathe deeply, move steadily, and honor the pace. Chosen one. There comes a point in every unfolding where trust must mature beyond hope. Hope believes something good is coming. Trust rests even as it arrives. You are stepping into that distinction now. What is stabilizing in your life is not fragile momentum, but rooted alignment. You are no longer bracing for loss the way you once did. Your nervous system is learning safety again, not because the world became predictable, but because your inner foundation did. That is not accidental. That is formation bearing fruit. Anointed one. One of the quiet signs of growth is that you no longer feel the need to narrate your resilience. You have lived through enough to know that survival does not need witnesses to be real. In earlier seasons, you needed reassurance that your endurance mattered. Now you carry a settled knowing. That knowing will shape how you lead, how you give, and how you receive. It will keep you from exploiting your pain for validation or minimizing it to appear strong. You honor what you've lived without being defined by it. Chosen one. This is also the season where consistency becomes more powerful than intensity. Intensity helped you push through uncertainty. Consistency will help you sustain clarity. You are learning to show up without adrenaline, to remain present without urgency. That steadiness is what allows others to trust you. It is what allows provision to stay. What comes next in your life is not impressed by bursts of effort. It responds to reliability. Anointed one, you may notice that your discernment is sharpening around motives, including your own. You are less interested in proving outcomes and more interested in honoring process. This shift matters because influence exposes intention. When your motives are clean, you can move freely. You no longer second-guess whether you deserve what is coming because you know what it cost you to become ready for it. That readiness was paid for in patience, humility, and restraint. Chosen one. There is also a release happening around old identities that once helped you survive but can no longer guide you. You are not the person who had to overextend to feel secure. You are not the one who had to overgive to remain included. You are not the one who had to stay silent to keep peace at your own expense. Those strategies were understandable, but they are no longer required. What replaces them is self-trust grounded in alignment. Anointed One, as your sense of direction stabilizes, you may feel called to simplify your commitments. This is not withdrawal, it is focus. You are learning that saying no to what drains you is not rejection of others, but protection of purpose. I have had to learn this the hard way, staying too long in spaces that honored my output, but not my presence. Growth clarified that distinction for me, just as it is doing for you now. Chosen One. The clarity you carry will begin to influence others, sometimes without words. People will sense your steadiness. They may not know why they feel safe around you or challenged by you, but they will. This influence is not about control. It is about coherence. When your inner world aligns, it creates order in the spaces you enter. That is a form of leadership that does not demand attention, yet quietly reshapes environments. Anointed One. There will still be moments of uncertainty. Growth does not eliminate questions, it changes how you relate to them. Instead of panic, you approach them with curiosity. Instead of rushing, you allow insight to form. This posture keeps you teachable, it keeps your spirit flexible. Rigidity hardens purpose. Openness allows it to evolve. Chosen One, as this part closes, recognize that stability is not stagnation. It is readiness expressed through peace. You are not waiting anymore in the same way. You are walking forward without force, allowing what is aligned to meet you. In the final part, we will bring together what has been formed, stabilized, and clarified, so you can step fully into what you are carrying next, without fragmentation or fear. Stay grounded. Stay present. The quiet strength you now embody is not a pause between chapters. It is the foundation of what is about to unfold, and it will hold when movement increases beyond what you once imagined possible. Chosen One. This is where integration completes its work. Not with noise, not with announcement, but with inner agreement. You are no longer becoming who you are meant to be. You are arriving into coherence with it. What once felt fragmented, faith and action, patience and desire, waiting and movement, has begun to settle into one rhythm. That rhythm is what you will carry forward. It is not rushed, it is not fragile, it is steady because it was earned through lived experience. Anointed One. What you are stepping into does not require you to abandon the quiet strength that formed you. In fact, it depends on it. The next season will not reward performance. It will respond to presence. You will notice that when you move from alignment, things open without force. Conversations shift without persuasion. Provision meets you without panic. This is not because life became easier, but because you are no longer fighting yourself while walking through it. Chosen One. There is a maturity now in how you relate to purpose. You're no longer chasing it as something outside of you. You recognize it as something expressed through you. That shift changes everything. It removes desperation. It replaces urgency with intention. It allows you to serve, lead, create, and give without depletion. You are not trying to arrive somewhere to be whole. You are moving from wholeness into responsibility. Anointed One, remember this: as momentum increases, what sustains expansion is integration. Do not fragment your life into sacred and practical, spiritual and financial, inner and outer. What you carry next requires all of you to move together. You learned this in Obscurity when survival demanded honesty. That honesty is now your strength. It will keep you grounded when expectations rise and choices multiply. Chosen One, you may still feel moments of uncertainty. Let them pass without interpretation. Uncertainty does not mean misalignment. Often it simply signals growth. You are learning how to hold new weight. Give yourself permission to adjust without judgment. Pace yourself without guilt. Trust that clarity will continue to arrive as you move, not before you move. Anointed One, the season ahead is not asking you to be louder, faster, or more visible than you are ready for. It is asking you to be consistent, anchored, and present. Those qualities are what make influence safe and provision sustainable. You have already practiced them when no one was watching. Now they will support you when responsibility increases. Chosen One, as this message comes to rest, take a moment to acknowledge how far you have come without minimizing it. The endurance, the restraint, the faithfulness, it all mattered. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was accidental. You are not emerging empty-handed. You are carrying wisdom, discernment, and capacity that cannot be taught any other way. Anointed One, move forward without fear of regression. You are not fragile. You are formed. What you carry next will be met by what has already been built within you. Stay aligned. Stay honest. Stay present. This season of obscurity did not delay you, it prepared you. And now what unfolds ahead will reflect that preparation in ways that feel natural, grounded, and enduring. Chosen One, as we come to the close of this sacred moment, let your spirit rest in this truth. Nothing in your life has been random, delayed, or misplaced. You are standing in your Kairos moment, the precise window heaven ordained for what is now unfolding. What was formed in obscurity is being entrusted with visibility, not for applause, but for purpose. The transfer has already begun. What felt quiet was never empty. It was charged with intention. Anointed One, receive this commissioning with reverence. Stay aligned. Stay faithful. Do not rush what is already moving in divine order. What is coming toward you carries confirmation, provision, and clarity. You will recognize it not by noise, but by peace. Walk forward with gratitude, knowing that the same presence that sustained you in the hidden place is now guiding you into manifestation. You are not stepping into uncertainty, you are stepping into fulfillment. May your discernment remain sharp, your heart remain soft, and your spirit remain anchored. May doors open without strain, may provision arrive without fear, and may your life continue to reflect the quiet authority of one who has been shaped by obedience. You were never forgotten, you were prepared, and now heaven is saying, move forward. If this word settled deeply within you, let it seal itself through agreement. You may mark this moment in the way your spirit feels, led through a quiet amen, a shared blessing, or simply by staying present and aligned. However you respond, know this: you are not walking alone. This is not the end of a season. It is the sending. Go in peace. Go in clarity. Go carrying what was formed in the dark, now ready for the light.